Well, like a lot of you kids out there, I had a bedtime when I was young. My bedtime, I believe, before I was 10 was about 8:30, and it got a little later. And of course, when I was in high school, it got a lot more extended. But I remember thinking sometimes that's really harsh, Mom and Dad. I want to stay up later. I want to do other things. I can see that there's still stuff going on. But what it did do for me was usually, inevitably, I would start getting tired about that time, and I would start to want to go to sleep anyway. And I find myself sleepy by 9 o'clock for sure. And I realized later in life, especially after getting out of the house and going to college, that this bedtime thing wasn't such a bad idea. That so there were so many nights that I would be up late with friends, hanging out, and I would just be so tired. I'd be tired that night, and then the next morning I'd be very tired. And it kind of helped me to realize, even though my parents probably said this to me a million times, that this is so that you learn that your body needs its rest, that you need to sleep a certain amount of hours. I mean, we hear that all the time. But sometimes the experiential knowledge kind of really confirms it for us. And far from ever saying that my mom and dad were right, I had to experience that for myself. I think that's the way that a lot of the law and in the prophets is to be interpreted for Jesus and for his disciples and for us as well. Today we hear the story of Jesus and his disciples going through a field, and the disciples are pulling the heads of the grain off of the wheat, meaning that they are, in a sense, harvesting, and it's the Sabbath day, so that's not okay. There's to be no work done on the Sabbath, and so this is as if they are harvesting on that day. And so they are called out by the Pharisees for doing this. And Jesus rebukes them, saying that this is not the meaning of the Sabbath. He says the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Jesus is saying that this day of rest is meant to make the people look toward God, make the people be more centered on him, to say this day, as God rested on the seventh day, so we too will rest and remember what God has done for us, that he is the one who creates, he is the one who's given us everything. And so far be it for us to continue to work to try and make our own life apart from God, but to honor that day and to be totally centered on God. So often for us, I think, especially as Catholics, we can take rules and regulations and we make those into an idol itself. Or we make those into something we blindly follow and we have no idea why. We must always know that everything that we have been given in the church is to direct us toward God, direct us toward Jesus Christ. And that is its ultimate end. Not to say that all of anything else is not useful, not to say that our rituals, the commandments of God are not to be followed, but that they are always as an end in Jesus. And that is the faith that we should approach them with. And so Jesus says he's the Lord of the Sabbath. He's Lord of our life. He's Lord of not only our work, but our rest. Let us today make Jesus more and more the Lord of our life, so that we might truly live with him and rest with him for all eternity in heaven.